All right, so we got another edition of Cadillac Karaoke, and in the car with me right now is the H-Town hottie, the only stallion out there that I recognize, Megan Thee Stallion. Boo, what's up, girl?
What's up? I'm ready to sing. What
Hey,
we doing?
okay, so we about to get some singing going on. And
Come
so,
on.
first of all, let me just say congratulations to you. All your success. Big Old Freak is a big old hit. This remix with Khalid Talk, that's doing really well. Like, how did that happen?
So you know he's from Texas too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so his team had reached out and they were like, "Oh my God, we really want Megan to do the remix." I'm like, "Y'all want me to do the remix?" Like, that's really crazy. So I did it. I sent it back, and he hit me up. He was like, "Oh my God, I love the remix. This is fire." I'm like, "Thank you so much." So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get back in there and like do something else. But like just doing that was like super cool.
Absolutely, man. Does it feel like it went fast for you?
No, like when you've been working at something your whole life, like you know, it never feels like it was, you know, just it happened that quick.
Right.
I've been wanting to rap. I've been wanting to rap since maybe I knew it when I was 7, but I didn't know that was like a thing you could grow up to be.
Right.
So I mean, you know, when you're little, everybody, okay, you grow up, be a nurse, be a doctor, be a lawyer. You know, nobody's saying grow up and be an artist.
Right.
First time I let people know I could rap, I was like at a kickback, and all the dudes were freestyling at the party or whatever. I'm like, I can rap. And I just shut the whole thing down, you know what I'm saying? And like,
they was like, "Oh,
they were going crazy. So my homegirl was like, "Megan, we gotta put this on YouTube, sis."
Okay.
And I'm like, "Well, let's do it." So the next day, she came to my dorm room and we literally like put it on YouTube.
So what's one thing about you that people don't know? Like maybe a hidden talent, something you like to do that is just you.
I really like to paint.
Ooh.
And like I don't know, like we just said, I really like being outside. Like I really like nature. Like I really do.
So speaking of rappers, like who were some of your influence, like female rappers growing up?
So in my house, we didn't really listen to a lot of female rappers. I liked Biggie so much. My mom was like, "If you like Biggie, then you gonna like Lil' Kim."
Okay.
So boom, she started playing me some Lil' Kim, and it was a rap from there. Like,
man, well that ends another edition of Cadillac Karaoke with my girl Megan Thee Stallion. What do you want to tell everybody? All your hotties out there, all
my
fans.
hotties, I just want to tell y'all that I really appreciate y'all, okay? And, you know, I'm just keep dropping these bops, you know? It ain't gonna stop, you know what I'm saying? Fever coming, 7 days.
Fever.
Just be on the lookout for
Feeling
that.
hot. It's getting hot. I think I got a fever, baby.
You know?
Yeah, man. 95.7 JAMZ. Appreciate y'all.
We live? Yeah. Strick City. Woo! Strick City. All over the world. Strick City, man, we live. Yo, Strick City on the ride. Yo, look like surprise. Yo, taking your city like we live. Yo, man, we live. Yo, taking your city like surprise. Yup, on the ride. Yup, Strick City coming live. Yup.
So what you got right now is you got your boy Strick. I don't know if you thought something else was going to happen, but it's me tonight. Hey, Strick City Live, we are on, and I just did it. For real, I did. It's like, what did I do? I just shared the video. It's the same thing I'm asking you to do. Like everybody's watching, I need you to go ahead and do this really, really quick for me. Share this video with everybody you know, because I got a guest on tonight. You do not want to miss what this young lady has to say. I'm getting like a fresh scoop from her. We're going to talk about stuff that I'm sure she's never talked about with people before. Why? Because I'm asking the questions tonight. She gets to be in the guest seat. And, of course, I get to be the interview person, but not just me, all right? So not just me. I got my girl A-Lo on. She's up today. Like, she decided to come on to be on the show today. Like, I don't know what she's been doing, but today I absolutely have my girl A-Lo. Hey, I'm bringing you on right now. How are you doing tonight?
Man, I am tired. I am very tired. Y'all getting a half face of makeup today. I didn't feel like putting on no clothes. So shout out to Fashion Nova. You know, the glow up is real.
Okay,
But
okay.
you know what though?
What's
It's not
that?
about me today. It is about the pretty girl of radio. Oh my gosh, this lady is beautiful. Y'all looking for the face is coming in just a minute. Like I'm on rest tonight. We're just gonna be asking the questions because baby girl is tired. But once Miss New York gets on, she's bringing the beautiful, beautiful glam. I'm ready for it.
It's like when I come on, like you never like give me any kind of like no adjectives. It's just strict. Like I don't get any extra from you. A, what is that about?
Well, I don't have to give you extra. You kind of give yourself enough extra. I don't know if you noticed, but you
I
know.
don't. I never noticed it. I'm just strict.
No, Strick, you give yourself plenty of adjectives. You're the legend. You are I don't know, bruh. You come up with your own stuff. Like throughout this show, I'm sure you will talk about yourself enough for me.
You think so?
Yes.
All right, so let me do a little talking right now. Hey, I do want to talk about you talked about your T-shirt. Big shots out one time for my dude BMO. You know what I'm saying? Support my man BMO and his shirt. And also, I got to talk about our media sponsor for the day, and is none other than Birmingham for all of the updated information about what's going on in Birmingham. You have to go to urbanham.com. Check them out, man. They're always supporting us as a media partner, and we appreciate what they do for us in the city. That being said, are you ready?
I am always ready, but shouts out to Cameron. Thank you. Shouts out to everybody that's tuning in tonight. You guys share this video. We got her. We about to bring her on. I know y'all want to see her. And she's about to come on Strick City in
So
just
hold on one second, before you do that, before
okay.
you go that direction. I meant to tell you this earlier. You know, I'm a little with you. I'm a little tired, more tired than normal, and there's a reason why. I
Why?
didn't tell you what happened last weekend, but I actually went to Ghanarsville. My wife took me camping.
Oh, nice.
Now, I
Strick.
say my wife took me camping. Of course, I did all the driving and all the camping stuff, but it's
She took
nothing.
you. It was
Listen,
her
like
idea.
the
Okay.
whole thing about going camping is not on any kind of list that I ever have. Like, I don't know why people do it, but based on us being in a pandemic, you know what I'm saying? We have to do stuff differently. I needed to kind of unplug for a minute, so we went to Lake Garnersville in an RV and camped.
That sounds super dope. Just
It,
the two of you
it,
guys.
no, 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 no. It wasn't dope. I did it. She had a great time, and I made it back. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm back to the lights. I'm back to the camera. I could do my thing. I did get a chance to kind of unplug, but sleeping in an RV is not like on my list at all.
I mean, but you didn't have to sleep in a tent on the ground
No,
or
no, no,
nothing.
no, no,
Did you have to
no,
build a
no.
fire, Strick?
Listen, I didn't have to build fire. Well, we did have a little bonfire going on, cooked outside. Went fishing, went on a boat. It was a bunch of stuff. Rode a horse for the first time. You know what I'm
Sounds
saying?
nice.
I feel like I'm a cowboy now. You know,
That sounds dope. I really loved it. That sounds like a great trip. What did you hate about it?
I would rather, to be honest with you, I would must rather be like on the inside, be at a hotel. The whole like outdoor stuff is not me. I'm from Opelika, but I'm a city boy. Who can be mad
Yeah,
about that, right?
I've been to Opelika. Yeah, you're not a city boy, but okay.
I'm not from the city. I'm from the country, Opelika. Big shouts out to Opelika, but I'm a real city boy.
Okay.
I should have been like born in New York or something.
Well, speaking of cities, we have a beautiful, talented lady who is nicknamed after one of the greatest cities in our nation. Y'all, Miss New York is on the other line waiting to get in, but Strick wanted to tell us about his camping trip.
I did, and I'm done now.
So guess what, you guys? 16 years plus in the game in radio. Y'all, this lady is super talented. She models. She says she's not a model, but her Instagram determined that was a lie. Okay.
Ah,
She's a photographer. She is a videographer. She can help you with voiceovers and everything. She has her own production company. This woman paints, she sings, she freestyles, and I just found out she plays the piano, y'all. Not only is she the program director for 95.7 JAMZ for Cox Radio and all that stuff over there in Birmingham, Alabama, Miss New York does it all, and we have her here tonight. Y'all, can I
There
do it,
she
Strick?
goes.
Can I introduce her?
Yeah, you just did.
Oh, what great.
New
Well,
York,
y'all,
we got you on. So happy to have you here with us today.
yay.
Hi, I'm excited. That intro was way too much, though. I didn't deserve all. Thank you.
It's just the truth. I mean, it's just your bio, sis. Like, did I lie?
Yeah, you
I
lied a little
try to
bit
keep a
about the
lot of
whole.
those things hidden, though.
Yeah, you lied a little bit about the model stuff. All that was a real stretch.
I love you, Strick. No, I don't. I hate taking pictures. Absolutely hate taking pictures. I only do social media because my job requires that. But if I had a choice, no one would ever see me.
Why is that?
I'm just not a social media person. I feel like it's very intrusive and invasive, and I just rather have my to myself and live life. I don't feel like everything needs to be shared on social media, you know?
Oh, I'm with you 100% on that. It is definitely one of the things I highly control what is done, what is seen. But I've learned to live with it. Actually, it was you, New York, that told me, Strick, you needed to do more stuff on social media. I'm like, I don't want to do anything on social media. But of course, when you're a talent right now, creating content, social media is the one medium that is free game for everybody. So I'm on. Now, something that you're doing that I'm absolutely not doing is not on my radar. It's the whole little TikTok thing. You know what I'm saying? TikTok dances are really not made for dudes. That's just the way I feel about it.
Why not?
I just can't see myself taking the time to learn a routine and then set up the camera to actually record the routine. I just can't see myself doing it. Do you know how much time that would take?
So, well, yes, absolutely, because I had to learn one of the challenges, and it took me days to learn the dance. So I absolutely get that. But men and women are on there. It's the it thing to do. Like, you have to do at least one straight.
So there is something I'm going to do, New York, because like yourself, I'm very multi-talented. People have heard this from me before, but it's the truth, so I don't mind sharing the truth. I am an extremely great vocalist. I don't know if you know that. You know, most people have heard me, talk, but I have a great voice. So I'm actually going to put out a project.
I didn't know that
Yeah.
you're gonna
Yeah.
sing tonight.
Yeah. Say that one more
I'm
time.
listening.
No.
I'm listening. So you're gonna sing
No.
tonight
I'm at the
for
point,
everyone.
New York, help me out now. I'm at the point in my professional career where I just don't have to just randomly sing. I just don't just throw songs out like that for people because I don't want, I wouldn't do that. When you get to my level, New York.
But it's possible that I could get you a deal, though. A lot of people sing for me, so this is your moment. I think you should do it. What you think, honey?
Listen. You know what? I'm an independent artist, and I believe I'm gonna put it out on Strick City Records. So I'm not really looking for a deal. What happens, New York, is that when I sing, people are so affected by it, it could take away from our opportunity to interview you. You know what I'm saying? You've seen the Michael Jackson concerts where people are fainting and falling out. You know what I'm saying? When he's singing and performing.
Right.
It's kind of like that. It's such an emotional response that I don't do it randomly. Because I'm thinking about the other people. I'm thinking about you. Like if you would hear my voice tonight, you'd be like, you know what? I'm never singing again. After hearing what this guy could do with his voice, why would I even sing again? So I don't want that to happen. That's not what
I'm hoping by the end of this interview that you will at least bless us with just a quick snippet. It could be 15 seconds of anything. The ABC song. I think that some people will be blessed by hearing this magnificent voice of yours.
So even in the comments tonight, Fifi is like, Strick, stop. You know why? Fifi understands how talented I am and would not want people to be in a moment where we take away from our guest tonight, New York. You know what I'm saying? I really want to kind of dive down. I actually want to ask you a question and kind of start this interview because I remember it. I don't like randomly. I would listen to the morning show. And, of course, big shouts out to Buck Wild and B Money. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are legends in the game. And I was listening the first day you were actually interviewing. How did that, can you kind of tell us what happened? How you got picked to even interview? How you got to Birmingham, that whole nine? Can you tell us that story?
Definitely. I've told this story quite a few times, and B Money, I don't think he likes when I talk about it, but I was actually working in Madison, Alabama at a urban AC station, similar to 98.7 KISS, right? Young, very young. And I was at the BT Hip Hop Awards. It was my first time going ever. Someone had just gave me a ticket and was like, hey, I got some free tickets. Do you want to go? I was like, of course, sure do. So I went, and as I'm standing in line getting ready to go in front of me is B Money. So B Money turns around and he's saying hello to everybody, and he's just staring at me. So I'm just looking at him, and I'm just like, can I help you? And so he just kept staring. We end up having a conversation. I think initially he was trying to holler at me, and then he realized that I was and so I think a couple of weeks later, he was like, hey, I've been listening to your show, heard your air check, and we have a position open for the morning show, and we'd love to have you audition. And I was like, serious? And so that's kind of where it started as far as coming to Birmingham. But I've been in the industry my last year.
That is so funny. You know, I have to say it. B Money is a guy that can find great talent. You know what I'm saying? That's just part of it.
I think he thought he was going to bag me, though, and it didn't happen. So, but we've been great friends ever since. So,
see how that happens, right? That happens a lot.
It does.
But that's part of the industry too. So I guess I never asked that question. Like being in the industry, being a young female in the industry that's dominated by men, like how has that been for you?
It's been interesting. I haven't had to deal with any like Me Too movements, thank God. Of course, guys, you know, they say slick comments and, you know, flirt and things like that. That's just never been my thing, never been my MO. I believe in working to get where you got to get to. And so that's really been my whole thing. The only thing I've probably dealt with.
Hold on, New York. Let's be honest. Okay, let's be honest. You flirted with me one time. And, you know, I think if you just can't just say you're not down with any of that, that has happened. You just have to kind of throw that out there.
Oh, that's interesting because a lot of people feel like I'm flirting and I'm just being myself. So that could be the situation that happened between you and I.
It was read wrong. Oh, okay. I'll let you go with that one. I'll let you go with that one. Hey, you've been a part, Lo, I know you've been a part of our like time. Like what? Hey, why do you think this is funny? Like this is not funny. Like you've been on the show. Like you know New York just as well as I do.
What does that mean though, Strick?
What does that mean?
I know her as well as you do. Yes, I do.
Not about that, but I'm talking about the fact that I just, you know, I could go down the road with asking 20 questions because I do have them. I didn't want to leave you out of the conversation.
Oh, no, I thought you were trying to put me into this conversation. I was going to let y'all have it because I really didn't have a 2 cents. I can't speak on whether or not anything. So, but anyways, Miss New York, moving right along. So we're talking about you in radio. What made you decide or want to be a part of or be in radio?
Really, it was a matter of exploring my options. I always knew I wanted to be in the music industry. And so when I was, even back when I was in New York, that was my whole thing. Like I grew up on Angie Martinez, Funkmaster Flex. So these were like my mentors, my icons, you know, in a sense. And so I've always wanted to kind of like experiment with just different platforms. So once I got into college, you know, and I was trying to decide what major I wanted to go and do, because initially I was a psychology major. And then all of a sudden it just switched up, and then I got into telecommunications / music business. So I literally interned at a couple of places. The only place I didn't get a chance to intern at was a news station, which was on my list. I wanted to work for MTV or BET, be like one of the hosts like Roxy and AJ and Free. But I kind of just fell into radio. I think I remember the first time that I even got into radio, I was at WEUP, and they have this heritage festival that they do every year. I don't know if they still do it. But I just remember that I liked the behind the scenes. So I would always find a way to get like backstage. And I think after like my 10th time sneaking backstage, one of the guys that worked at the station was like, yo, his name was John Chambers. I shout him out all the time. His radio name was John Baum. And I would say, he would come up to me and he was like, yo, like, who are you? How do you keep getting back here? Like, do you want a job? And I was like, actually, yes, that would be great. And that's how I got started. It's pretty much how I got started. I just kind of swept into it. But I interned at recording studios. My cousin had a record label. I worked with the artist Yellow Wolf. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yeah, I remember that
from
guy.
Alabama. This is before he like got on period. You know, he's been really grinding, trying to get to where he's at. I'm proud of where he is today. But just kind of working behind the scenes with people, that's been my thing. So I just kind of fell into radio, and it's just been working out.
So is there something that may have happened in radio, like a good moment, a defining moment for you? You're like, man, y'all would not believe this. I ran into this person and I actually have a conversation. Anything like that happened to you just kind of just blew your mind?
Blew my mind.
As an opportunity, is like this was like, so I would tell you this. I was at the station, I don't know how many years ago that it's been. Kirk Franklin walked in, like they told me he would be in town, and I had a chance to interview Kirk Franklin. After that, in my mind, I was like, I'm done with radio. Like I'm at the pinnacle of radio. That's all I want to do. I interviewed Kirk Franklin. I'm done. I mean, anything like that ever happened to you? Not that you were done, but you was like, man, I really feel accomplished.
I had a couple of moments. One, I was a huge Whitney Houston fan, like huge in the fan club. I literally have like a whole shrine in my site right now. I was all of that. And so I met Bobby Brown. This was of course after her passing. So I felt like that was me kind of meeting her because I always wanted to do that.
Right.
And so that was one. The other, I met Little Kim in the BT radio room, and being from New York, that was a big deal because, you know, she's not from my borough. I was born and raised in Queens, and, you know, she's representing Brooklyn and all of that. But she was so sweet, you know. I didn't know that she was going to be as sweet as she was. So that was a cool moment as far as people that I've met. Who else? Robin Givens. So Boomerang is like one of my favorite movies, top down, hands down. Eddie Murphy has been one of my favorite actors and comedians forever. That's before he went to like playing the roles of Metro and everything after that. I was just like, I can't do it no more. But yeah, so Boomerang was my favorite movie because I loved the role that she played as far as her running the business. Like she was the HNIC, and it was like, you got to respect her. And right. So that's kind of what shaped me a little bit, is just I'm always business minded. So to see her play that role, I was just like, yes, honey, like kill it. And when I met her, I was just like, oh my God, it's her. I know right. all your lines. Right. So that was pretty cool because I don't get starstruck. As long as I've been in this industry, I've never gotten starstruck.
I met Robin
Wow.
Givens before myself, and she didn't even acknowledge me standing there. Like she even never made eye contact with me. I was like, man, that's cool.
So did you meet her,
Well,
Strick?
I guess I
story.
didn't. I guess I was standing around her,
Oh,
but that's as
okay.
far as I got. No questions, no hello, no handshake. Like she never like put her hand down. I was like, that was
Well, you're not
funny.
the pretty girl of radio. So, I mean, we all know
Well,
the pretty girl of radio, Miss New York. So, Miss,
little tea with that though is that she wasn't that friendly with me either. Oh,
Got you, got you.
so it was one of those things where I met her and I was kind of let down, but she was all over B Money that day. She came in the studio. It seemed like anything B Money asked her, she was like, yes, yes, exactly. And then when I would talk to her, she wouldn't even look at me, and I was just like, oh my, it's my breath stink. What's going on?
no, it's because you're the
And I
pretty girl
remember
of radio.
at the end of the interview, I was like, hi, like, it's so good to meet you. I'm a really big fan of your work. I was like, I'd love to take a picture. And so she looks at me and she goes, I guess. Oh,
Are you for real?
I clutched my pearls. I said, oh my God. um, and so after that, I was just like, never mind. Don't want it. Don't want it. Yeah, so that was an experience for me. Granted, I was in my feelings, and I was not as mature as I am today. And so I definitely called her out on the air, like when she left, because my heart was broken. I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe she did that to me. And so I think somebody told her about it, because she came back to the station a couple of months later, and she made a point to take a picture with me and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I was having a rough day that day. And I appreciated that, because most people can't acknowledge, like, we all have our days, where I'm just not in the mood. It's not really a day that you should go depressed.
No,
Right.
not at all.
I understand.
Right.
So the fact apology. Yeah. So I don't really talk about that. I don't.
Hey, listen, that happens a lot. I've learned to give people a pass. Like I'm to be honest with you, New York, even with what I do now, sometimes you have to ask people, and if you're ask people to be on the show or to come be a guest or whatever, and if your feelings are on your sleeve, and you'll get like disappointed in people, and it's not personal. They don't know a lot of times. They don't know me. It's not personal with me. It may not work with their schedule. Guess what? On to the next. And it's not a hate thing. I'm going to come back around and ask again, because I'm persistent. But I don't let people let me down in that area anymore. Like, I allow people to be human and to not be nice. And it's okay, because guess what? There's sometimes you might meet me, or some things that I might say, it might come across not nice. But my heart is right. I love folks, but I'm one of those kind of people that's extremely honest. And sometimes we can just be extremely honest to folks just to be honest. They don't take it well. So I try not to do it as much anymore, because I'm not in a role like you are in a role right now. And we got to talk about it. Like being a program director, like when I had my show on JAMZ, I was the guy to get music from local artists on the show. And oh my goodness, like the more people, if you help 10 people, it's that 11th person that you can't help that you're the worst person in the world to.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get over that, because you like, man, I opened the door for all these people. There's only so much room in the party. But, sometimes you feel like you let people down, and their feelings are on their sleeves, and you get to be this, person that's not supportive. In your role as a program director, how people need to know like what the process is, so they can do the steps and be patient with the process. Is that true?
Absolutely. And know that times have changed, with everything, digital streaming, The fact that people are being signed from YouTube and TikToks now, there's a lot of competition out there. And so, you know, it might have seemed easier back then when they didn't have so many people to compete against. But now you have to think about it. Like when you bring music to me, you're not just competing with other local artists, you're also competing with the top artist that is on the radio station.
Right.
So if you bring me a song and it can't rock with, you know, Cardi B or Moneybagg Yo, whoever is popping at that time, then you got to go back in the studio and you got to come back with a hit, because that is who you're competing with. And a lot of people forget that. You know, they have a lot of yes men and yes women around them, and like, what you think of my song? And everybody's like, yeah, that's dope, that's dope. But then they come bring it to us. They don't have a radio edit. It's not even mixed and mastered well. They got a lot of crazy sound effects on there. The system isn't in place where they have, you know, the BDS and the copyright on their songs. And it's a long process. It's not just going into the booth and putting out music like, yo, I got a song and this is a hit, play it. Right. I mean, that used to happen back in the day, but you have so much more competition. You really got to put in that work. You really do. So the process is, I wouldn't say it's that hard. We have 205 Live, which used to be Alabama Now. Rest in peace to Kat. The city absolutely loves her for, you know, what she did for all local artists. Right. And we're trying to keep that rolling. At the same time, you still have to understand that times have changed and you do have a lot of competition out there. So the people that do put in the work, we're checking for you, you know, and that's what they say. If you do the work, it will come to you. People will come to you. Opportunity, success will find you. It's just that a lot of people want to skip through certain processes and go straight to like the top of the line. And that's just not how this industry works, you know, not unless you have like great connections. And even then, it's still tough now to use that to get on.
From your experience, major artists put out their latest, just that one song. What would you think a budget for just that one song would be?
A budget for
just the one single, like for everything it takes to record that single, to get that single mastered, to get that single to radio, the radio promoter, the whole thing, just that one song. What would you think would be a good budget number just off of your experience?
I mean, to be honest, when it comes to like recording the song, whether you're doing independent or with the label, always when it's with the label, they're going to tax you. They're going to get you the top of the line producers who charge top of the line prices. I think, what's the last I've heard? I've heard like 10,000 for features. I can only imagine. I don't know the exact number of what it costs to get to somebody to produce. But I know collaborations are expensive. When you're trying to do it like the independent route, that part is easier. And most people do it in their home. There's a lot of artists that got signed that literally record songs right in the comfort of their home, and it's hits. What is her name? It's a new girl, so young. She has like this dark energy kind of thing. I can't remember her name right now, but her and her brother literally make all their hits
Is that
at
Billy?
home.
That Billy Lace?
Billie Eilish, yes, thank you. And the label lets them do that, and that doesn't cost them anything because they both know how to play music. He mixes it. I think he even masters it. Like it's a one-stop shop. They do it all. So you don't really have to spend that much, but you have to know the difference between quality and something that is lagging just a little bit. And most of the time, your ears are not going to be the ones that can determine that unless you had some experience in the industry or working in a recording studio. So it's important to have people listen that have done this, that can say, okay, this is radio ready. Or no, you need to go back and get somebody to, you know, professionally master it.
I used to tell them, you can't have your cousins in the studio with you telling you that's a good song. Like your cousins are going to love it, man. They love you. They're proud of you. Everything you do sounds good, but your cousin liked that song and is not ready. And of course, it wouldn't go down like that because they would have a couple rebuttals. And I was being honest, man, like I want the best for you. Can you redo this? And the reason why I talk about budgets, for any artist out there, yes, if you understand technology and how to use like some of the same programs that they're using in the big studios, I get it. You got Pro Tools, you know how to work them. Mixing and mastering is a big part of having a song. If somebody goes and they got a song that is $30,000 worth of people's hands that are on that song, and you got $1,000 song, there is clearly a difference, wouldn't you say? Even from a radio standpoint, a radio promoter, like we're talking about, even independent artists that you want to be regional, we're talking 20, 30 grand, if not more than that, just to get a song into an area that you can be heard, to even pick up a little steam to go to other cities or to go to Chicago or something like that. Does that make sense for people?
You know, people have to work with what they have. And so I get it. I understand everybody isn't able, they don't have the funds like that. But I mean, you'd be surprised by just getting out there and networking. I feel like if Birmingham could just come together just a little bit more, I see it happening here and there. We have some really, really talented people right here in the city, producers, songwriters, people who have left but still come back and, you know, try to bring people on and things like that. I just think that when it comes to their craft, the ones who don't necessarily want to spend the money, those are the ones that are harder to get through to. You know, those are the ones that if you tell them like, oh, the hook and really that this part out, they're really defensive about it. So I think it's just the mentality. It's the mindset, people not being able to take the advice and the constructive criticism.
Got you.
It's
really hard. I've found, like, for me in the past, instead of not answering the question, to be upfront with them. The only thing is with me, unlike you, like you're musical, like you understand music. I don't. I just can tell you what sounds good and don't sound good. Like, I could tell you a hit. I'm one of those kind of people. Give me 30 seconds. I could tell you if you got a hit or not in the first 30 seconds. And some people say that don't work all the time. It may not work all the time, but I can definitely tell you in 30 seconds whether I like that song or not, and whether it could go and spin. That being said, I want to talk about New York a little more, and clearly not the city. Talk about some of the things that you are passionate about outside of the music. Like, you're extremely talented. Of course, you've been doing radio for a while here in the city, but you have some other endeavors, and this is what I want to do right now. I have no idea what music is behind this, but you've actually put out a advertisement for photography, right?
Right.
Is
Just
this
recently,
the track that you play under this video? Is it like your track? Did you make this track? I just don't want.
No, it's not. So I haven't done that just yet. I have them. They're in the vault somewhere. I'm really trying to hone in on a couple of talents. Like, the pandemic really had me just putting things into perspective. And so I appreciate the fact that you guys have done your research and your homework. Like, I'm flattered. But one of the things that I've been working on personally is learning how to master things, because I do so much. You know, they say, what's the phrase?
A jack of all trades, master of none.
Master of none, right? And so I have a really big issue with that, because I'm like, oh my God, I have all these talents, but I haven't perfected them in a sense. So with my photography and videography, I'm literally focused on that. And so the music and all the other stuff kind of took a backseat, because I want to make sure that, like, I know my stuff when it comes to photography, which deals with so many things, you know, lighting, angles, there's so much to.
Yes.
That being said, let me play this video, and if Facebook stops me, you know what I'm saying, we'll just reconnect. I want to play it because it gives us an opportunity to see a couple of skills, your video skills, along with your photography skills, and maybe I can mute it and we could talk over it. Let's see what I got here. So I like that, New York. You know what I'm saying? You got a chance to do some video editing along with showing some of your photography work, and you're now seeking opportunities to shoot. How can people like reach out to you? Like, how can they get the infamous New York to shoot their portraits?
Well, I have an Instagram page. I have not officially launched, even though I have got some bookings. Like I have a shoot this Saturday. I haven't even put it out there officially yet. But you can go to my Instagram page, Nikki Prempeh. It's going to be really complicated to spell that. It's French. It's my government name. Don't Google me. Okay. Yeah. So you can find it on my regular page, which is at NY on the radio on Instagram. And I have the link that takes you to my photography page where you could literally book right then and there. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. It's a new endeavor. I believe that, you know, the sky is the limit. Like knowledge to me, I'm obsessed with knowledge. I'm obsessed with information. And so this is something I've always wanted to do. But I just feel like the pandemic kind of brought it out of me because, you know, this is the time where everybody's reflecting and just trying to figure out, like, say, what's my purpose? You know, why are we taking this time out? What is it that I need to be focused on, bringing more awareness to? And so I realized that I need to really follow through on things, which is why the whole jack of trades, master of none thing kind of hits deep, because I tend to just do stuff and then I move on. You know, I pick up another habit and I move on, because I literally have my DJ equipment that I'm looking at. I DJ too. I haven't spun turntables in years. And so it's just because I feel like there's nothing that we can't do as humans.
I'm with you. So are you one of those YouTubers? Are you like me that watch YouTube all the time to get all the training?
I like books too. But YouTube University is my thing, to be honest. And don't shoot the messenger for this. If YouTube was a kid, might not have went to college. Because it won the student loans. You feel me? Like if I didn't have to deal with that, which is what most people spend most of their life trying to pay off into YouTube University. Just saying.
Oh, I'm with you 100%. Like everything that I'm doing right now is strictly off of the knowledge I've gained off YouTube. So real quick, big shouts out to my man Chris Coleman for checking us out tonight as well. Big shouts out. He says, I'm a big fan of New York. She's incredible. That's my man Chris Coleman.
I love him. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yes. So, okay. I know I haven't said that much, but I mean, I'm just enjoying the interaction between the two friends here. But Miss New York, I also see that you have your own building and savings club. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how you got into money matters?
Absolutely. So, like I said, I've been really working on myself. And just thinking about how I can give back. So, you know, obviously working with the radio station, we do a lot of community service. That's always been our thing. We're never going to stop that. But I wanted to make sure that I did something personally. And there's so much more that I want to do for the city. But one of the things that I noticed is that we are ill-educated when it comes to money, finance, saving, investing. And so as I'm learning how to get out of debt and head towards financial freedom, I decided to create a page where I can give that information out to people that follow the page as well. And every Monday on my show, I have something called Money Mondays, where I'll have a different guest on who will talk about just how to repair your credit, real estate. We've talked about stocks, the stock market. I just started getting into that. A lot of us, you know, don't necessarily do our research. Kudos to everybody who is, you know, ahead of all that. But there's money out there. We just got to be informed on how to get it. And once we get it, we got to know how to manage it. So I feel like that's something that we haven't really learned in schools, or at least me growing up. You know, my family's old school, so they taught me what they knew. And, you know, they can only teach the principles that they've learned. And while I do appreciate them for that, it's still my responsibility to learn how to get myself out of certain situations, even when family can't really offer that information. So each one teach one. That's the philosophy with that one.
Dope. I love
That's
that.
cool.
And how can people be a part of it? Like, is it a members only type thing? How can you be a part of your
Yeah,
club?
it's on my Facebook page. You can just go to groups, search New York's Building and Savings Club, and just go ahead and hit that, submit to join the club, and I'll approve it. I do have it where people have to be approved, just because I want to make sure that the people that are coming in are serious about, getting their money where it needs to be and all that.
That's what's up.
Me?
Like you said, you do a lot. I was going to the whole painting deal because I think that that's really cool too. Like, I'm like, what does this girl not do? So for Alo to tell me that she's doing money matters and finances, I'm like, what? Like, how do you find the time in the day?
Right. Not to mention that I have custody of my niece, who is 4. She'll be 5 in February.
The baby is 4 years old now.
She's already 4. I know. Time really does fly. I know parents say that a lot, but she's definitely getting older, so smart, very independent. So it's definitely tough struggling as a single parent. Definitely, I wasn't expecting to be a parent, but I believe in, looking out for my family. So I had to do what I had to do. And I have full custody of her. So it's just about balance and prayer and having God in your life. That's because right. That's right. It can be very overwhelming trying to juggle everything. Mm-hmm. But I've learned to find that balance between, my spirituality and also making sure that I organize my time. Discipline when it comes to all of that.
You're right about that. And, more importantly than the love that we have for our loved ones and our children, giving them a firm foundation spiritually always helps, because they're going to need that as they grow up, especially in this world. So it's really, really cool. But I would say you are a great example of what hard work is. And you're definitely doing your thing right here in the city. I want to know what's next. Like, if there's something next on the horizon that you're like really grooming yourself for whatever in your life. Is there something that's coming up next?
That is a great question. To be honest, I don't necessarily know. I'll wait for God to tell me to move. I'm very, very spiritual, by the way.
Hey, so am I.
So, yeah, I kind of peeped that.
Right,
we had you on air. You did a gospel show.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't make a move without God, and I feel like whenever the opportunity allows itself for me to go somewhere, if it's time for me to ever move to another station or a bigger market, I would do that. To be honest, I've had a lot of opportunities. I have had job offers for Miami, New York, Atlanta, Dallas. And I mean, these are top markets and top stations. Yeah. But I could not find the peace that I needed to accept those positions. Wow. Outside of the money thing, because, I'm about my paper too. So it got to look right on paper. Especially since I have a niece to look, after, because those jobs are very strenuous and you're very busy. And so if I'm going to be spending my time at work, I need to make sure my niece is going to be taken care of. And so that's non-negotiable. But yeah, so I've definitely passed over a few opportunities. And I just feel like God still wants me here for whatever reason. And once I fulfill what I'm supposed to do, then I'll see what comes up next. But I personally don't have any plans on where I go next. I just know that every day I want to be better, and that eventually I do want to be an entrepreneur full time, and have ownership in things like property and things like that.
There you go. So, in my question, it wasn't like any like moving or getting a bigger job somewhere in a bigger market, but I know that uh, as you grow as a person and as an individual, you find out more. Okay, if we're not just doing the art stuff. We're not just doing music, photography. We're doing finances. There's a reason why that's a part of who New York is. And with all of those things put together, I know your mind is churning on the next thing. And I think you just dropped it when you said, hey, maybe it's in the business arena being an entrepreneur for myself. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it's at. That's where it needs to be for a lot of us, like while we all are pursuing our passions in our different ways and things like that, I believe in always having a backup plan, a safety net. I think that this pandemic has really shown us that nothing lasts forever and things can easily be taken away. I feel for those who don't have jobs right now, people who are struggling paying their rent, like times is hard, and so it's always good to have that safety net, which is again why I started that group, because it's like next time we'll be prepared. If
Right.
something like this happens, we lose our jobs, you got money on the side where you straight, it doesn't affect you. And so that's the big thing.
That's what's up. That's what's up. You know what? I absolutely love catching up with you. We could talk for hours because there's tons of questions that I have for you, not just about the music and everything else, but I have a bunch of questions. I like to end with Alo's questions because they're always better than mine. You know, right? They're always better than mine. So, Alo, I know you got one ready for me.
Well, shouts out to Lauren Alexandria, who says, "Love you, New York," who is tuning in tonight watching. So, shouts out to you, sis. Um, but lastly, I just wanted to ask you, you've just been known to like give back more than the radio station. You've always done your own thing as far as giving back, even with, your building and savings club that's all about giving back to the people. And you also had the New York 12 Days of Christmas that you do for yourself. Where did that desire to give back to the community come from? Because a lot of people don't care.
Facts. Straight facts. Yeah, I think once you start to like walk in your purpose a little bit more, you understand that it's not about you, that is about other people. And so I know that where I used to struggle on what I wanted to do for my own selfish reasons, like when he was asking me about the goals, it was tough for me to say what was next, because it's kind of selfish of me to think about like, well, what's next for me? Like, what benefit can I get from my next move? And I've learned that it's actually about what you can do for other people. And so I grew up in New York, Left Rack City, definitely was not, the area that people would think like, oh, she grew up with like a great, surrounding and things like that. Like, they would shoot broad daylight. Like I came from some tough streets, especially being adopted and things like that. So just wanting to give back to people the way I wanted people to give to me as I was growing up. That's really the bbig thing.
Yeah, that's dope.
Because I've been there, and I want people to know, like, it doesn't matter where you come from. You can be somebody, you don't have to be that stereotype. If you want to do better, you can. And all that takes is discipline and knowledge.
Yes, I love that. Well, thank you, Miss New York, for all that you do in the community, for all that you do in your personal life that inspires the rest of us. I mean, girl, you do it all. You paint, which we didn't even talk about your artwork. Do you have any custom pieces that we can, available for purchase?
I did. I sold them recently, but I will be working on some soon. I guess they just kind of come and go. I wasn't even trying to sell them. I was at an event and brought them out to support the event, and people said they wanted to buy it. So I was definitely humbled and appreciative of it.
That's what's up. So is it all off inspiration? Like you're just inspired to do something, you just do it?
To be totally 100, because that's all I know how to be.
Yeah, come on. Tell the truth. Shane the devil.
It started through pain. I was grieving certain experiences that were happening in my life, and I didn't necessarily know how to let it out, that I was hurting. And so outside of prayer, which I was doing a lot, I just picked up a paintbrush one day and started painting. I hadn't painted since I think Whitney Houston died. I told you I'm a huge fan of Whitney Houston. Rest in peace. I love you.
Right.
And so when she passed, I realized that I actually was really affected by it. Like I couldn't sleep that night. It was bad. Like I had to take a pill to go to sleep. It was terrible. And so like the next day I ended up painting a picture of her.
Wow.
And it kind of feel better. And so I reverted back to that with some experiences that I had recently. And it was just my outlet. So I just started painting and I was just like, oh, wow, that looks good. That the most beautiful things can come out of painting.
Yes.
That is really scary. You know what I'm saying? That you could be that talented and not know it and only learn it through pain. Like, I'm afraid of you because if somebody pushes a personality like that, like what I'm saying is there's more for you. We just have to find ways to motivate you to bring it out.
Yeah.
Right.
That is awesome. So, we talked earlier about me singing. I know that you're a singer. You know what I'm saying? I understand. No. Don't even downplay it. You may choose not to sing, but you are a singer. You know, you play the piano. You are picking up the photography thing, and now you're starting a business with that. You are a radio personality, a program director, and a mom. Like, I applaud you for all that you do, for who you are and what's going on in your life. I wanted to, and I explained this to you with us coming onto the show, I wanted people to see you through my lens, that it's a real person behind the name that really is working hard to make a difference in the city of Birmingham and to make her job and what she does the best. So I thank you for taking the time to do it. I hope that, I know it has been accomplished. We had tons of people watching tonight and they love New York. So do we. And man, if there's ever anything Strick City could do, we're here to support you. We believe in collaboration. So not that, hey, I'm going to call you because I need something. It's, hey, let's just collaborate because it makes sense. So that's what we're about here. All right?
Well, I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me on. And I love you all back. Everybody that was watching, love you, love you, love you. This was fun and awesome. I'm so proud of you because you did it. Like, you're on social media, and the quality, might I say, your camera looks amazing.
Thank you so very much. Like I told you, it was you that said, Strick, man, you got to do more with social media. And of course, I didn't want to, but this is what it leads to right now. Like, we're in a pandemic. What are you going to do? Sit around and watch Netflix? You know what I'm saying? There's only so much TV I can consume.
I feel like Netflix is the devil. I'm going to just tell you, because it's just like, when I see these shows that you want to binge watch, I cannot. Like, I refuse to just waste time, like watching a couple of shows just because, you work a lot, that's fine. But sitting there watching something back to back to back, I cannot. It messes with my mental. Like, I'm just like, what did I do in my life today? And they know that, which is why they keep creating these shows to just keep people glued to the television. And I'm like, that is so, it irks me. Like,
but
people
it
are really
draws you
dysfunctional.
Right, it draws you in. Like, they know, like, with me with Netflix is science fiction stuff. Like, that's all I see. And I try not to go to anything that has a series, because once you watch the first show, it's over with. You got to watch all the series. And if it's 10 series, guess what? That's 2 weeks of your life every day coming home to watch what somebody else has produced and paying them when you could be producing stuff yourself. So I just believe my face was made for television and for everybody watching it on YouTube. Yes, A-Lo, for everybody who's watching it on YouTube, that's the best way to see me. I just had to throw that in there.
I'm proud of you.
Hey, I appreciate it. So hold what you got, ladies. Let me wrap this thing up. Listen, we've had New York on. We've had tons of guests. I have a more incredible, well, let me just not more, but another incredible guest is doing something right here in the city of Birmingham. And man, I can't wait to have this young guy on Thursday night, 8 o'clock. So if it's 8:05, y'all forgive me. You know what I'm saying? We're coming. But thanks everybody for watching. And again, man, we're trying to do something here in the city that's collaborative. So if you're doing something big in the city, hit me up on Instagram, inbox me on Facebook, and you say, hey, Strick, I want to be on your show. Let's work something out. I want to have you on the show too. Y'all know what we've been doing. It's Strick City Live. Again, thank you for watching.